What up, YouTubers? My name's Jose, and this is my first attempt at a YouTube video. On this video, I'm going to show you how I installed a Integra sway bar onto my Civic Si. See in the background. First video, so any things that I did right or wrong, go ahead and put them in the comment box. But before you talk trash, subscribe and like first. I probably should have done an intro video, but I don't know if I'm gonna have the time and actually I guess the motivation to make more videos, but I'm gonna make this one and see how it goes. Alright, so enough babbling. I feel like I'm talking a lot. Putting on Integra sway bar onto my Civic. The original owner had an aftermarket brace and sway bar set up, and the bastard took it when I bought it, so I was left without a sway bar. I don't want to spend 300 bucks, I think it's more than that, to have that setup he had. And the stock SI sway bar, it's a little hard to find and a little pricey. So the setup that I have in the car with the Integra sway bar, I only spent about 60 bucks. I found everything local, picked up everything in the morning, and I had it installed in the afternoon. So just what I was looking for. All right, gonna do a quick walk around of the Civic. It's a 99 SI. If I do an intro video, I'll probably start listing some of the stuff that I've done. I've done a couple of small details on the car that probably, if you're a Honda fan, you'll notice it in the video. But that in the background's another project I have going on. 73 Ford Bronco that's been sitting there that I have not even touched, but eventually I'll get to it. This is it. Alright, so this is a quick bit of the interior. It's nothing crazy, but definitely better than the original boring interior. I still have to install the covers for the airbag wiring there. I just have those covers laying around. Okay, so here's the Integra sway bar I picked up at my local junkyard. I will be using the Integra brackets. One issue I ran into is that it won't mount flush to the body, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is use this steel spacer. That way both bolts will sit flush with the body. So I'll just cut this to fit, and I'll make it work. So this is the main issue I ran into. The end link stud is way too big for the Integra factory bushing. So what I did, I picked up this flange bushing at Lowe's in the hardware department. I'm going to remove this bushing and insert this flange bushing. The diameter of this new bushing is way too big for the end link stud. So I found this sleeve that I can simply insert into the flange bushing, which will allow the end link to fit perfectly snug, as you can see. This is the part number and the dimensions to the flange bushing, and then this is the information on the sleeve that I used, so that's helpful to you guys. Alright, so I got the end link installed on this end. I'll show you how to install it on the other end. These are actually CRV end links, by the way. They cost less and they're more available than Civic Si end links. This is why I went with these. Next to it is the Integra end link. This is a fixed end link. The movement or the flexing is done by the factory bushing. Which is why I did not reuse this bushing and went with the flange bushing inside here. You don't want flexing. If you keep the factory one, you'll have flexing in the sway bar and at the end link, which is defeating the purpose of the sway bar. So with this fixed bushing that I installed in here, all the flexing is going to be done by the end-link itself. So that's why I went with that, and throwing away the factory bushing. Let me see if I can get a good shot here without blocking it, how I threaded it through. Alright, so there it is. You just simply thread it through all the way till it eventually ends up stopping. Sway bar is ready to get bolted up to the car. I still have to install the spacer here because I'm using the Integra brackets, but that should be pretty simple. And then I'll go on a test drive and see how she handles. So here are the spacers I cut. The spacer itself was an inch long. I literally just cut it in half, and it came out to be the right size for the bracket, so that's going to work out. I didn't show any close-ups of the installation because I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory once you get under here. I mean, you simply just install the D brackets here, these two bolts. Same thing on this side. You bolt these down to the bracket itself. You do want to lubricate the bushing behind there, and then after that you just simply install the bracket itself, these two bolts here, to the subframe. You'll do the same on this side, these two bolts to the subframe. If your subframe doesn't have welded nuts in the back, then you'll just use a nut itself, and then you'll just tighten it down. And then preload your suspension, tighten down the end-link nut, do the same thing on this side and tighten down the nut, and that's pretty much it. It's as simple as that. While I'm under here, I'll show you the spacer I installed right there. See if I can get it to focus. There it is. Same thing on this side. Again, some people use washers, but I chose to use a steel spacer. And that's all you have to do to get it installed. Alright, so I've been driving the car around. Car drives great. Rear end is definitely more planted than the way it was before. I actually missed the way it drove before without a sway bar, because I could kind of go around corners and the rear end would just kind of whip out. Felt like a rear wheel drive. It was definitely fun to kind of lose the rear end and try to get back in control. But realistically, that didn't work for me. So with the sway bar now, it definitely feels like a front wheel drive car. Definitely a good amount of understeer, but handles a lot better. I'm still undecided about making more videos because I realized that this is time consuming. I took a couple of days to video everything and then a couple hours to edit it and make this very tiny short, I think 10-15 minute clip. So I'm just gonna roll with this one and I guess see what happens, see what the outcome comes out to be. If I do make another video, it's gonna be about the car, like an intro video, exterior, interior mods, and a few bolt-ons that I have on it as well. And with that, I'm gonna end the video. Like, subscribe, And until next time, see you then.